to talk to you guys about 10 tips to prepare for a natural childbirth / home birth. So if you guys are interested on getting 10 tips on how to prepare for childbirth, then stick around for the video. For those of you who are new here, hello! My name is Danielle and I am the non-traditional mommy. I talk about an array of different things, so go check out some more videos and see if you want to join this crazy family and hit the subscribe button. For those of you who are already part of the non-traditional family, you know you're the MVP and I love you. Thank you guys for following along. Now let's talk about some childbirth tips. Alrighty guys, so for those of you who don't know, I've had 6 of my babies naturally. So 6 of them without any intervention or pain medicine or anything like that. I had 2 of my babies at the hospital where I labored most of the time naturally, and then one of them I ended up getting an epidural, and the other one, back then there was no such thing as an epidural, so I got IV pain medication for that one. So I like to say he was pretty natural because yeah, the IV pain medication did not work, and I spent most of my time laboring him. So I really like to say that he was ultimately a natural birth as well. And then the rest of my babies were born at home. One was born at a birthing center and we lost him. And the other ones again were born at home. So that is my birthing history. So when I am talking about natural childbirthing, I'm essentially just talking about giving birth without any type of medicine intervention, and you just naturally let your body do what it is supposed to do. So that is my definition of natural childbirth. So just to kind of share with you guys why I opted to do natural childbirth, because in this day and age it is an option. You can choose to have an epidural and just not feel any kind of pain. So why would anybody choose to feel pain? So I, of course, as you guys know, was a teen mom. My first son, my first son, I had him as a teenager. Part of my mom's punishment for that was I wasn't going to get any type of pain medicine. I was going to feel the pain of giving birth and the pain of my choices that I had made. I was in labor with him for 15 hours and I spent probably 13 of those laboring before the doctors convinced her to give me some type of pain medication to kind of ease the pain. Their thoughts were, she's not going to be able to deliver him if you don't give her some type of pain medicine. So ultimately I did have pain medicine towards the end. So as I got older, I realized that my body could do that. Like, I realized that I could ultimately birth a child and not have any type of medical intervention. For me, what my mom what she was trying to teach me, I took another lesson out of it, and the lesson I walked away from that was how strong I was and what my body was capable of doing. Like, it was liberating for me, so to speak, and I was just amazed by the fact that I could do that. Like, I could withstand that type of pain and I could actually birth a person. So that just made me feel strong ultimately. And through having a son, a child, and having him naturally, it just kind of paved the way for me throughout my life. So fast forward to my second child, who ultimately, because I had done it before, I did not want any pain medicine. So I kind of knew I'm going to birth her naturally. I don't want any intervention. I just want to have a natural birth. And went into that situation, and it was not a great situation at all. Most of the time I did naturally labor. However, towards the end, they kind of forced me to get an epidural. They ended up using forceps on me to get her out. It was just so stressful, you guys. It was not enjoyable at all. And after that, I pretty much knew I did not want to have another baby in the hospital, which led me down the path of home births. That's my history. Now that we got that out of the way, let's dive into these 10 tips. Tip number 1 is to be mindful of who you allow in the birthing room with you. This is so important, guys. I feel like the people that are in your room bring a certain energy, a certain vibe, a certain aura, and can really dictate how the labor and delivery experience is. So you want to surround yourself by people who are going to bring a positive, loving, encouraging kind of energy and spirit. I really do feel like that is why my second birth went the way that it did, was because of the people that I was surrounded by, and just those energies and those vibes and that spirit gets into your space, and it affects you unconsciously, and it affects your body in a way that you don't realize your body is being affected. So just definitely be very mindful of who is in your space. So if that means that you have to tell mom, dad, mother-in-law, father-in-law, brother, sister, auntie, cousin, whoever, even your significant other, that they cannot be in the room, then be okay with telling them, hey, I'm sorry, but you can't be there. That's okay. I give you permission to say no. Tip number 2 is to have an advocate who will advocate for you when you aren't able to advocate for yourself. So, for example, your advocate may be the one that is stopping Auntie Darlene at the door and saying, sorry, no, you can't enter. That is what your advocate is going to do and be able to do. Your advocate is also going to know what your plan is, so they're going to be able to speak for you when you can't speak for yourself. They're also going to be able to talk you off of a ledge when you feel yourself wanting to give up and quit. So if you're in a hospital, for example, and the doctors are offering epidurals, and your advocate knows that that is really not what you want, they'll be able to say, no, you're okay, you can get through this, you're strong enough, you're brave enough, you have it. It just talk you off of that ledge. My husband knows me very well. He knows what I'm capable of, what I'm not capable of. He also knows that I will quit if I feel like it's too much. And so a lot of times with my births, he are able to be my voice of reason and say, you don't want that, you're okay. And it took him, of course he didn't know that with our first child what it was, but after Sydney, he realized, I know what she can do. So having someone that could be your voice of reason when you're in labor, like you lose all reason when you're in labor. So tip number 2 is to have an advocate. Tip number 3, have a plan. So having a plan seems cliche, have a birthing plan, but it is important because your advocate needs something to know that this is what your hopes are. These are what your expectations are. This is what you want to see happen during your labor and delivery. And that plan can consist of, I don't want an epidural, I want to be able to walk around, I don't want to be hooked up to machines if I don't have to be, IV or monitors and all of that. It could consist of any of that. I want to labor in water, I want to labor on the birthing ball, whatever your plan is. If you're at home, I want to deliver in the water, I want these snacks around and available for me, I want these people there. whatever your birthing plan is, you want to have that and have given that to your advocate. So have a plan of what you want to see things look like and a backup plan. So if things are going awry, your advocate has a list of backups on what you're willing to do. So have a birthing plan. Tip number 4 is to be okay with that plan changing. So have a plan, but do not attach yourself to that plan, because natural childbirth is natural. Like, you can't plan it. It's natural. Things change, things happen, they go left, they go right. You just have to be okay with the natural process of natural childbirth. So be okay with your plans changing. Tip number 5 goes into that, which is listen to your body. You have to listen to your body with natural childbirth. It is so crucial and so important. If you're listening to your body, your plans may change. So really just being in tune with your body, letting your body do what it's supposed to do, allowing yourself to labor, and then listening and being in tune with what your body is saying. So what that looks like is, if you have the urge to walk around, if your body's like, I need to walk, then get up and walk. If your body is like, I need to squat, then squat. Whatever your body's telling you to do, you want to be able to listen to it and do that. And by listening to your body, your plans may change. An example of that is, I had every intention on delivering 11 in the water. I wanted to be, sitting this way so that I could see him come out and be underwater and have a glimpse of what he may have looked like in the womb. That was my plan. Everybody knew it. That's what I wanted. However, in listening to my body, I realized that I needed to deliver him in the doggy style, for a lack of better words, position. And so I ended up being over the birthing tub, and he came out from the back, and it was this way, and I had to turn around and all that. So being able to listen to your body and hear what your body is telling you to do is so important when doing natural childbirth. That is tip number 5. Tip number 6 is, don't believe the hype. So you guys, if you are planning a natural childbirth, stay off of the internet looking up things on why you can't do it, or what went wrong, or all of those things. Just don't believe the hype. Don't allow, this person to tell you what went wrong, or what happened, or why they couldn't, or why you might not be able to, or all of those things that people, try to tell you. They may even mean well by it, but you will be amazed at how those little bitty drops into our spirit can dictate how our labor goes. So if you can avoid just believing the hype of all of that, that to me is so important and so crucial. If you find yourself getting caught up in the hype on, oh, you can't do it, you gotta have an epidural, the pain is just so unbearable, more women died prior to having babies at the hospital, and all of these things that people will tell you or try to convince you about, you just don't want to get caught up in that stuff. You really don't. So if you can avoid all of that, try your very best. Tip number 7, believe in your body. So trust your body, believe in your body, speak those positive affirmations to your body. Let yourself know that you can do this. You can do this. My body can do this. This is what my body was built for. And just really speaking those positive affirmations to your body throughout your entire pregnancy and throughout your entire labor and delivery. So contrary to don't believe the hype and stay away from the internet. Is on the other side of that is find as many positive stories, as much positive information you can get on natural childbirth, and speak that into your life and to your body, and just letting your body know that you can do this. You were built to do this. So believing in your body, not thinking, I'm not going to be able to do this. How am I going to do this? This is going to be impossible. I can't even imagine myself doing this. You don't want to say any of those things. You want to believe that your body can do it. So that would be tip number 7. So tip number 8 is going to sound insane, but tip number 8 is to practice. Practice, practice, practice. So of course, there's nothing like being in labor and the pain that is associated with labor. There's nothing like it. However, if you can, throughout your pregnancy, practice, then practice. And what I mean by practicing is, if you find yourself doing something that is a little strenuous or painful, push yourself through it. So for example, me with headaches or anything that is painful, where I feel in pain, a cramp or something like that, I would not take medicine for that. I would gut it out and feel that pain and practice my breathing, practice my centering myself, practice my focus, and just really try to gut myself through whatever pain I may have been feeling. To me, that was practice for labor, just being able to get my tolerance for pain up. So being able to tolerate pain longer, or any kind of pain, to build up my pain tolerance. So practice, literally, just practice your pain tolerance. During those Braxton hits, use them. Use them as an opportunity to practice. So even doing your deep breathing, and when you're having Braxton hits, do it. Like, you might feel crazy and be like, I'm breathing like I'm over here in labor, but it is an opportunity to practice it and to gear up for the real thing. In moments where you may feel yourself feeling a little stressed or feeling a little tense, you want to take that time to practice your breathing, practice relaxing yourself, practice speaking positive affirmations to yourself. So just really practicing for the real thing every single chance you get, in every kind of opportunity that seems like it might prepare you for birth. Practice. Tip number 9 is going to be trust. You have to start to trust not only yourself, but you have to also trust your midwife, your doctors, your nurses. You have to trust your advocate. You have to trust your partner. So anybody that is around you, you want to trust. You have to trust that it's going to be okay. This tip falls into the whole don't believe the hype kind of tip, because you have to go against the grain. A natural childbirth, is one of those things that's kind of obsolete, and it's kind of like, why would you do that when you have access to modern day medicine? And a home birth, like, you must be absolutely insane if you're gonna have your baby at home. And because a lot of people don't understand it, and going back to them meaning well, they may give you advice or say things that isn't necessarily true or may be true, and you have to then trust that everything is going to be okay and trust that your body can do it. So trust goes into all of this, just trusting that this is what the human body, the female body, was designed to do, and that you can do it. So that would be tip number 9. Have trust and faith. So tip number 10 is obvious, and your midwife and whoever else has probably already told you this tip, but I'm gonna say it anyway. Exercise, exercise, exercise. So yoga, walking, taking the stairs, all of that stuff you want to do. As much exercise as you can do it. And it's so funny because people will, you know, when you're pregnant, and especially when you're 9 months pregnant and you're still doing stuff, people are like, oh, you need to be at home, you need to be sitting down, you don't need to do that. And it's like, no, I need to be doing this because I am going to have a natural childbirth, and I need to be getting this body prepared to do that. So exercise as much as possible and as long as possible. As long as your midwife say it's okay, do it as much as you can and as long as you can. And it doesn't have to be a strenuous exercise. Take the stairs, walk, stretch. All of these things are exercise, and it is, I'm telling you guys, it makes such a huge difference in your labor and delivery. So number 10 would be exercise. And for my bonus tip, change your thoughts. So my bonus tip is to just change your thoughts on anything that you've ever been told about labor and delivery, anything you've ever been told about the woman's body, anything you've ever been told about safe pregnancies and deliveries and all of that stuff. Just really guard that, analyze it, assess it, process it, and if any way you find something in there that is not aligned with you being able to do a natural childbirth or a home delivery, then change that thought. Change your thoughts. So if you find yourself thinking something that is not aligned with what you're wanting and what your end goal is, then really work on changing that particular thought. So that is my final tip, and my kind of bonus tip is to really watch and guard your thoughts and change any negative thoughts that you might have surrounding natural childbirth and home deliveries. Alrighty guys, those are my 10 tips on preparing for a natural childbirth / home birth, or both, or whatever the case may be. Those are my 10 tips. If you guys have any other questions surrounding natural childbirth and or home delivery, feel free to drop them below. If you guys like this video and would like to see more things like it, give me a thumbs up. Thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.